So we're currently down at the Magic Factory and we've got a very special guest, James Toseland. What an absolute pleasure and honour to have him sat on the settee with us right now. And even more so, looking at this, wow.
This is my girl. This is my girl that I took the championship 17 years ago now, James, in 2007. And yes, she's very special.
So James is World Superbike champion from 2004 and 2007, and this is the 10K Honda, the Fireblade, which he actually won the 2007 World Superbike on, beating Max Biaggi, Troy Corser, and and
there was one above them two actually. In the end,
it was what?
Noriyuki Haga.
That's right.
Who finished runner up by 2 points in the end.
I've seen the footage, and
it was a bit closer than it should have been. It was, yeah. In the second race, I got taken out, and me and Biaggi went through the gravel and got back on, and I had to finish 6th in that race to take the championship. And you know, coming from behind, from the back in that first race was really stressful, and you know, against that calibre of field. You know, Max Biaggi, Haga.
So you've had a decade of racing as well, from 2001 to 2011.
It was.
And then sadly, obviously, with the wrist, I believe you've had 9 operations on that poor wrist of yours.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I crashed in Aragon in 2011, so 13 years ago now. It's been a long time, but 9 operations in 13 years. It's been a bit of a journey. It completely stopped me from racing, you know, in that moment. So it's been a tough decade, just kind of recovering from that injury, because it's always been a reminder as well that it took everything away. But no, I can't complain. You know, to be lucky enough to work with 2 fantastic teams, with Ducati in 04 and then Tenkate in 07, and give me an opportunity to fulfill my dreams. The ultimate dream of being a world champion was amazing.
Incredible. What an amazing achievement. And I believe you're only 2 ever riders who's won the championship on 2 different manufacturers. The other being Troy Corser?
It was, until this year, where Torrens Gatioglu became the 3rd.
Caught me out there.
With Yamaha and now BMW. And I mean, if anybody's watched Top Riders Gatioglu on a motorcycle, I can't believe he's only a 2-time world champion like we are now. It's unbelievable how he's riding a motorcycle.
Yeah. So please tell me about this. I can imagine you've got a big attachment to this bike, and you've had it for 17 years in a collection, which is very rare, because usually with a race motorcycle, EV goes to the race team or a collector buys it after, but you've actually had this bike from track straight to your front room.
Yeah, it was.
Which is incredible.
Well, with Ducati, I didn't have it in my contract to keep the winning bike, but with Tenkate, because in 2006 we finished 2nd in the World Championship, and then 2007 was the year that I was going to go one better, we put it in the contract, if I did win the championship, I would get the actual bike, and here she is. Like you say, I've had it for 17 years, and she's been in the room. She's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I think it's time for it to go to a special home, a special owner to enjoy as well.
Wow, definitely someone's going to really appreciate owning this, especially with it coming from yourself as well, because usually with these race bikes, like I was saying, they've either gone back to the factory, they've gone back to the race team, or they've gone to a collector. And are those parts really right on the bike? Has it changed? Has the wiring loom the same? And all this, because we've experienced it through selling obviously a lot of race bikes through our hands here, but with this one, it's literally from the track into your front room with the best providence you could ever have, because it's actually coming from you exclusively through the bike specialist, which I just think is amazing.
No, and you know, when you see the Kenny Roberts swinging arm that was specially made for this bike, because we were a private team essentially, Tenkate, so they were free to kind of alter HRC's machine as it was to be able to win the World Championship. And like you say, we had to tap into Kenny Roberts' team manufacturing to get that swinging arm, to get like over 210, 220, 30 brake horsepower. It was always a bit of a secret with Tenkate
as well.
But
secretively.
But she had so much horsepower, and it was the days before electronics, before traction control. We had no traction control, no anti-wheelie, and it was just raw.
So 230 brake horsepower, secretively.
Yes.
With no traction control.
No, she was an absolute animal. I mean, if you watch 2007, if you watch Valencia qualifying around that last corner, she was absolutely to
sideways.
the stop. Like, and like, that's how she needed to be ridden. And that's why it was so enjoyable riding this bike, because when I saw a checkered flag in 07, I was absolutely knackered.
Yeah.
And you
Mind
really
you
felt
did
like
stand up on the pegs on this bike. I did see it.
Yeah, but it was like because I really felt like I'd ridden, because you had to ride well to get this bike round quickly to win races on it. But because of the nature of it, she was such an animal. I mean, the rear brake pads I was wearing out, trying to keep the front down every other session. But it was so rewarding because she was so demanding. But if you rode her in a good way, she gave you the results.
Awesome. A few questions on the bike. So brake horsepower we touched on, 230 brake. What kind of top speed? What kind of weight is it?
I think it was the fastest one we ever went through was 208.
Wow.
On the speed traps.
That just must feel incredible.
Yeah, and
sometimes your brain can't react as quick as the bike can.
No, I mean, the brain always, the faster you go on a motorcycle, the more that your computing kind of improves and speeds up. But it's not so much the going fast that's the issue. 208 miles an hour. It's what corner's coming up next. Yeah. And how you slow it down is the skill involved. But yeah, she was. The nice thing about this bike was, it was a rare motorcycle, and in some corners, like down the hill at Imola, or the first corner at Phillip Island, or the last corner at Phillip Island, like it nearly scratched the itch of me going fast enough on a motorcycle. And
Brilliant.
Any other motorcycle never made me feel that way because of the traction control and rider aids that came in afterwards. It all kind of just looked after itself after that. This was
really on you.
It was raw.
Yeah.
And when you went through corners at 150 miles an hour and it was absolutely sideways and the traction was just braking on these tyres, your bum, I mean, it was twitching.
I can well imagine. Well, like I said, it's absolute honour to have you in the showroom. I really appreciate giving us the opportunity to sell this incredible motorcycle right from the lounge straight into the bike specialist. If you'd like to own a piece of history, 2007 World Superbike Championship winning bike with the best provenance you could ever have, even James has kindly agreed to do the handover with pictures with the trophy, with pictures with the bike. He'll hand sign the bike as well. This is the ultimate investment opportunity, and I can't believe I'm sat here with James with the bike in front of me. It's even giving me goose pimples thinking about how lucky the next customer is going to be to own this bike in their collection. Thank you, James.
Pleasure.
Top man.
Thanks, mate.